Mr. Jody Williams, we are back. We are live. Hey, everybody in the chat, thanks for watching and waiting for us. Jay Clean.
Marco GT5. What's up, everybody? Got my orange juice, got my water, ready to go. I'm feeling good. I did my day 16 of my 31-day pull-up challenge this morning before we went live. And, you know, I have to say, doing this thing and seeing it through, I'm enjoying myself.
I'm on a similar challenge if you watch my shorts that I put out on my other YouTube channel.
Yes, you're crazy in that cold doing that crap.
I'm doing like a 75 hard, but a shortened version, like a 25.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like minus 30, and I'm out there trudging through the snow at 5 o'clock in the morning. But I'm in the 330s, and I was almost 380 when I started. So not when I started this 25 days, but when I started just trying to get down. So I've already told Robbie Burnett that I'm going to be 325 when I pull with him. It's not a commitment to him. It's just what it's going to happen.
Where is he supposed to be?
Wherever he wants. I don't think he's going to crack 300 pounds anytime soon. But, I mean, Robbie's not a small guy, but he's not a giant super heavyweight either.
Right.
Yeah.
What Jay Clean said?
First time he hasn't had ads to start off the podcast.
We got ads?
Well, this channel's monetized. It doesn't do a whole bunch of stuff. Let me just make sure the monetization is on. I got to check it.
GB's in the house. Good morning, everybody. Yes, Brian Gabriel. Good morning. Yes, Big Show. Knuckles Up review. AWC prediction show. And then, is that Robert Chandler? What's really going on?
Wow. Yeah, everything's normal. Everything's normal.
What is going on, Robin?
Brian Gabriel had ads. Robin, thank you. Yeah. All right, let's get into it, man. High five. And, you know, the good, the bad, and the ugly. The only complaint that I saw, and do you remember Knuckles Up 1?
Yeah.
There was like a massive delay from the start when the pay-per-view was supposed to start to when it actually started.
Yeah, I thought I was getting duped again. And then if you watch the live chat, because there were 2 matches that were for free on YouTube if you went on their channel. And, you know, there was, you know.
But the whole thing started late. So the free matches took, I think it was a half an hour, right? Was it half an hour?
Give or take.
So we're not talking like a huge delay. And then once it started, there were no, like the technical issues they had the first time around were gone. I think it went pretty well. Like I had no buffering issues, nothing like that.
I think, you know, with that going on, of course, you got a couple yahoos in the chat like Robert Kelly. Oh, yeah, hey, I didn't think that match would go like that. 1-0, just kind of fucking with us. And I even thought, I'm like, I even like message you and go like, dude, are you seeing this? Because I wasn't. I'm like going, okay, now I'm getting pissed off, you know. Yeah. But nonetheless, when we did start it, it was on. Yes, Jay Clean, once it started, it ran pretty smooth. So I really can't complain about that, except for the reffing.
Hey, I was into it. Like, I enjoyed every single one of those matches. More so than I have in, like, I've watched lots of cards where it's gone just delay after delay and just wasting time in between matches. And this one just kind of went all the way through. And I think Will and Jake, the Aussie arm wrestler, had a lot to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
Jake Clean, I have one issue, but I'll talk about it as we go through the matches. Only one. And it lends itself to the same thing I've always said. The toughest match to referee is always the last match.
Oh, bullshit.
And
there's some matches.
Most tired that they are for the referees is the last match. So when you got guys,
I'm gonna hold you to that. I have zero issues. I'm gonna hold you to that too. But let's get through these reviews because I know I am horrible at predictions. It's like you're gonna imagine when we hit the AWC prediction what's gonna happen. But
all right,
first matchup was Elizabeth Mosek versus Lynn. God dang it, Melinda. I can't pronounce her last name. It's like French or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I had her winning 3-2, and It didn't go that way.
What did I have it, Jody?
You had Elizabeth winning 3-1.
Oh my God, what happened?
Dead on.
Yeah. What happened? 3-1. I was nervous because that first match looked like it was going to be a 3-0 sweep the other way.
Mm-hmm.
But Elizabeth pulled it out, did extremely well. The strap made a big difference. And, you know, the match aside, what did you think of Elizabeth's call out at the end?
Once the match was done, I jumped in the kitchen to grab something to eat right quick because I was doing something. What was I doing? Once like the matches were done, I like stepped out for a second.
Yeah.
So I did not hear the call out.
It was Victoria Carlson. That's a big call out.
Wow.
Victoria Carlson was the one that Elizabeth called out. Big call out.
I have a better shot at beating Kane Hemsing than her beating Victoria Carlson. Oh, wait. I probably shouldn't say that out loud.
I think Kane and you would have a good match.
Magna might be watching, so I probably shouldn't say that. So
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, hey, just keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars. Yeah. So hey, you know, kudos to her. I'm sure Vicky would oblige. Don't know where you would have that match at. Maybe East versus West. Now that Elizabeth's had that taste of the bigger stage, you know. And these bigger stages, where do you rank these events anyway? Like, if we know East versus West is the top, is it East versus West 1, King and Table 1A or 1B or whatnot, or what?
Yeah, I'd say they're 1A, 1B, very different products. The challenge is, where do you put like the high five events? I think they're pretty damn close.
Yeah, because High Five does good stuff. Then you got AWC with Magda's event. You got the Monster Factory still. You know, and that's just,
you could almost put it on, like, the only thing, like, Engen just has that giant pay-per-view feel, where there's just international superstars all over the place. Whereas High Five has, you know, some lower ranked guys, maybe like scattered amongst the card. Man, I don't know. It's close. I must tell you, and I'm not just doing this to butter these guys up, man, but I like the product probably the best.
It's a mixture of a classy version, a classier version of Armed Gods, where they come out and the venue's kind of dark because, you know, you got the black and the purple. It makes the whole venue dark as it is. You walk out, you got the pyro going. I'm thinking it's like WWE. I think it's like, you know, fucking Orton doing this shit or whatever. And it makes it feel big. You know, I'm thinking, okay, that's cool. You got big time referees. Not too fond of the referees and some of the calls and setups, but whatever. We'll get to that later. But I just think I like that. So, yes. And they want to focus on not so much of the elite, because everybody has the elite. It's like, Jesus Christ, what is it? If one person wants to get into the sport, I'm sorry, I'm getting off topic for a second. If one person wants to get into the sport, you would think it was Devin Larratt, Levon, and nobody else, pretty much, because that's all they focus on. When you have Monster Factory, High Five, you know, Knuckles Up group, World, we'll get that big name main event, but let's go ahead and give some other people some love too, because there's other pullers out there aside from the elites. So yes.
And speaking of that, we got the Tank versus
Steve Walker. Yes, I got Walker winning 3-1.
And you know what? Steve Walker looked good, man.
I had Walker winning 3-1, but
dominant in the hand. 3-0. So you got this prediction right. And Steve Walker, interestingly, is calling out anyone that is natty, is basically what he said, right?
Yes, and I like that, because now, and everybody in the chat, feel free to go ahead and put your 2 cents in with this, because we are at a point now with all these promotions, and you want to get noticed and you want to get seen. Who made the rule that, hey, I got to be not natty in order to compete, right?
I guess it depends if you're honest with yourself. Like if you want to be competing and trying to climb the ladder to the very pinnacle, then doing that natty is going to be a very tall order. It's just the way it is. Yeah. Steve Walker had the arm of a 40-year-old in the face of a 65-year-old. That's why I'm puzzled, Jay Clean. How old is that guy? Like, I have no idea. I couldn't even guess.
I'll say this. That is a guy you want in your corner because, like I said last week, he's a guy that you don't want to let down. If he's in your corner and you don't win, you're like scared to like talk to him. Hey.
There we go. Will and Chris.
What's up? What is up? Feel free to come on the show. So, yeah, so Walker won that one in the sweep. I thought Jeremy would have had at least one match, but you got 10.
Hey, you know what, though? That was cool to have, like, those two matches kind of set the tone for the whole thing, and the fact that they were free prelims. You know what? Honestly, Jody, I haven't been invested in an event like this one for a long time. So I have not even watched the press conferences from King of the Table or AWC or East versus West. I watched all of this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like I said, when you're on, you have a different feel for it once you've been on that particular show. Like, you know, you've been to Armwrestling, so you kind of know how that goes. So you kind of go, let me see what they got going on. I have too. I've been on the Monster Factory. They don't have like press conferences or anything, but I've been on their show before. So I kind of know how that thing rolls. And so I'm thinking, oh, yeah, I've been there. And, you know, you kind of know how that works out. So,
yeah. And I'll just jump in here. The one guy you don't ever want to shit talk at all, unless you can really keep up, is RVJ. Don't throw anything out there. If you're going to get annihilated. Like I watched that exchange at the press conference. I was like, oh my God. Like Brendan Allen started it, and then whoo.
Oh, okay. Well, let's go into the match since you brought it up.
Sure.
I thought the power of Brandon would, come through. I actually did. I had him winning. What did I say? I had Brandon Allen winning 3-2, and you had RVJ winning 3-1, and Brandon didn't get a victory at all. And I really thought, I don't know if it was a mind thing, because I kind of chatted with him briefly after the event, and Brandon says, yeah, Rob's hand is that huge. I'm thinking, well, yeah, you don't attack his hand, but I was waiting for Brandon to kind of make some kind of adjustment.
I don't know if he's been in enough of these big matches, or his experience level isn't going to be nearly as high as RVJ. Mm-hmm. And RVJ came in heavy and big and looked strong. Yeah, I don't know, man. That was fairly dominant, but if you took the guys just based on experience and talent, you should have RVJ winning, but the big X factor was size and power.
I would here's my thing. I was really wanting to see if it ever got to the strap match, how they would work, because the fact that, I want to see if Brandon can actually Kings move RVJ. But RVJ was smart enough to know, I'm not going to allow you to get in the strap. I'm not going to even test that Kings move for him. You're going to have to earn that. So the fact that you could tell Brandon kind of slip out and RVJ just kind of had this meat clause like, no, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, and that kind of control takes away from the Kings move, so he wasn't able to really, really use it.
The Preacher Man says we need more RVJ. Well, he needs it in his life. I think we all do. It was good to see that, though. Even though my prediction was wrong, I'm going to go ahead and mark you down for a win, Ryan. Even though my prediction was wrong, it was good to see that, because that's the kind of energy you need. Seriously. Because it's like, oh, okay, it's still. And it was just like, yes. And Jay Clean says, Brandon reminds me of Beer Man.
He's a little less abrasive.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got next?
Adam Wierzinski and Andrei Sharkovich.
Oh, who did we predict on this one, Jody?
I picked Andre Sharkovich 3-1, and it didn't happen. You picked Adam 3-0, and I think it went 3-0.
Yeah. Victor, I don't know, man. We'll see. He's asking about East versus West. Yeah, Wierzinski looked awesome, as predicted.
Yeah, I mean, what can I? Here's the thing. All right, so the press conference, you remember the press conference, right?
Yep.
And you remember how, and for some reason, call me weird. Why do I feel I get excited watching press conferences for some odd reason? But anyway.
It depends who's there, because some of them are extremely predictable. You know what's going to happen depending on who's at them.
So you remember when it got down to, Adam and Andre, and all of a sudden Andre said, I have a gift. He had a gift bag and stuff and gave it to Adam, and he pulled it out. It was like a pro dating handle, right?
Yeah, because he markets that stuff, right?
Right.
And then
I'm like going, because we all know Wierzinski is an inside guy, to the T. And I'm thinking, is that a jab? Like, hey, you're going to need to learn how to top roll. And I'm thinking, okay, that's pretty cool. And during the match, his cupping strength was that much more.
The way he answered him and said, wow, I sure will put this to use. I really need to work on that. It was like, oh, shit. Like, he's got something that we're not expecting here.
Right.
And then it happened.
And, Adam, I guess he was around 220 now or something like that, because usually he pulls around 205 or whatever. But I tell you what, when he locked that in there, that magnetic feel you get when you have two magnets, and then once you get to a certain part, they like just stick together.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to get them apart.
Hey, look who's in the chat.
Oh, dude, we're about to get to your match, Merlot. We're about to get to your match. So hang tight. So when you have Adam, cinching it in like this, and I'm thinking, okay, Andre, go ahead and peel out of that. Andre, stop playing. Peel out of that. Andre, okay, stop putting on the show. Go ahead and pronate him. And it just didn't happen. I'm thinking, what the flip,
Yeah. So we're going into Merlot.
The classy guy himself. You know what? Merlot's in the chat. High Five is in the chat. My man, Preacher Man, a big fan of Merlot, by the way. He's in the chat along with all the regulars. I'm going to tell you this right now. Jason Merlot is the face of Knuckles Up as we speak.
Yeah, I agree. One of the few guys that has made multiple, well, I mean, Camille, of course, but multiple appearances. The problem with Camille is, what the hell do you do with him now? And we'll get to that later, because I have some predictions. But yeah, Jason came out, looked great as usual. This was the one match where I'm running in and out of my cabin barbecuing in -30 while everyone else is glued to my TV. It's weird, because people that don't watch arm wrestling were watching this pay-per-view intently.
Look, man, I'm going to say this, and I don't mean to steal AJ Styles' saying, but Merlot is going to be the face that runs the place. I'm going to say that right now when it comes to the High Five guys. I'm telling you, that guy, and our prediction was like, both of us, Ryan, picked Merlot to win 3-1. It was 3-2. Hey, but we still picked him to win. So
good match. It's a good match.
Justin,
I have a prediction on that one later. Yeah.
There's a lot of ready goes in that. For a 5-round match, there's a lot of ready goes, a lot of elbows and that kind of stuff. And I think, and maybe Jason, you can go ahead, and since you're in the chat, you can go ahead and feel free to comment on some of that. This is why I thought some of the reffing was kind of skeptic. Like, okay, I wasn't, I don't know. It just seemed like the reffing was a lot better in Knuckles Up 1 than it was in Knuckles Up 2. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. That's not a shite on that, but it'll be crystal clear when we get to the Cody match why I'm saying what I'm saying. And I hope no one hates me for it. But
I don't have any huge issues with the reffing. I just think, The challenge
yeah,
is
nonetheless,
when you get to rule sets that are different. Even
Mhm.
the rest can be a little bit confused. But anyway.
Good job, Jason. He's going to knock out the international. I'm telling you right now. He even said it. Hey, I'm taking out international. I'm whooping on countries match by match, pretty much.
Yeah. That's right. You look at his comments, though. So lots of strategic elbow fouls in order to get restarts. Okay. And then he said, need to know the rules in order to play them in your favor.
Oh, I'm not even talking about that. What I'm about to talk about is like yeah. If you can hang out, Jason, and like still kind of, listen to the show, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
It happened in the last match. I'm like, you kidding me? So, but anyway, let's move forward. Ryan Bowen was waiting to see how this match was going to go because I think Bowen now is like, okay, and we all talked about him kind of like, burning bridges or whatnot. He's an awesome, smart, strategical arm wrestler, and I'm glad he went up there. We both had him winning 3-2, but it ends up being 3-0, which means was there a little tongue and kiss between RBJ and Bowen after the match about, hey, when can we set up a match? You know what I mean?
There was a little bit of talk about that. There was a little bit of talk about it in the press conference, I think. And then there was a little bit after the match, and I think Bowen actually called him out. So I'm thinking that that match needs to happen. I would love to see it at Knuckles Up 3. Love to see that match. It should be the main event.
Hey, is Will still in the chat?
I don't know. But if you can get RVJ versus Bowen, man, that match has been batted around and talked about for years.
Okay, here's the thing. This is a gold ticket, no pun intended. Here's the thing. If they can somehow make this happen.
They're listening, Jody.
Okay. So high five. Knuckles Up 3. Look at what I'm about to say. Just hear me out. You don't have to do it, but hear me out. You got two of the most mainstream arm wrestlers with their own YouTube channels and social media followings. If some way, somehow you can get these two guys on the card as the main event, I kid you not, that will blow that thing up. You will blow that thing up. Normally, when you have main events, and it's always the super heavyweights. Not so far for East versus West coming up, but I guarantee you the amount of buildup, the amount of, hey, let's get this guy on our show. I'm telling you right now. Trust me when I say that.
Yeah.
The press conference will be off the hook. I'm telling you. You'll get so many views leading up to it because RBJ is going to have his guys and his channel talking it up. Bowen's going to have his guys and his channel talking it up. And then they're going to go like this. And I'm telling you, man, you know what? When is Knuckles Up 3 anyway?
I think it was, didn't they mention?
I can't remember what he said, but I know they're,
March, May,
they got
March.
They got some qualifiers and all that kind of stuff. But I'm telling you right now, you make that the main event. It don't matter who you got in the undercard. Everybody's going to order that event.
I am curious. Right, I don't know if Will's comfortable sharing this, but I am. May 11th is the tentative date. I would be curious to know the percentage of pay-per-view buys by country.
Mm-hmm.
I'd just like to see what the uptake is, outside of North America.
I can tell you right now, Bowen's going to bring his Australian flag, wave it high in the air. RBJ's going like, fuck you and fuck your flag. I'm telling you right now, man, can you see that? Is anybody listening in the chat? Or am I just talking to myself? I'm telling you, does anybody understand what I'm saying? Does anybody maybe agree? Because, man, I need to take another sip of this orange juice. My Lord.
RVJ is more active on his YouTube channel, and he has a huge following. So I like it. I like it a lot.
Because then, on top of that, hey, you can make 2 co-main events if you wanted to.
Apparently, Beck has a huge following on YouTube as well. Jay Clean saying he's got like 80,000 subscribers or something like that. So this would have been that probably was a good move.
Right.
All right, what else we got?
Man.
Where are we at?
I just got a thing from Onward with Devin Larrett and Jablonski. And then your co-main event, you put Jason Merlot in there and find him somebody else. There's your co-main event right there. I don't care if it's Artem. I don't care who.
20 different countries, Will says, well, other outside the U.S. Majority from the U.S.
There you go. I like that.
Yeah, at least one from Canada. What's next match?
So it was the main event.
Have we covered everything already?
Yeah, Bowen, Merlot, Brad, RBJ, Warzinski, Walker, Elizabeth, Merlot. Yeah.
Man, okay. We flew through that a little bit. I thought there was more.
So this is where you and I, like, I don't know. This is where when you're real good friends with somebody, you want them to win. It's like, oh, come on. I thought, and this is where I got the problem with the refereeing, and more so in the last match, I guess you could say round 3, where I don't know, but was it my imagination or was Jablonski like super carved in with his shoulder to the point where I'm like, okay, he has one move, it's coming, and he made it crystal clear where he was going. And I'm like going, how does the referee not straighten that dude's shoulders? And how does Cody allow that to happen?
Well, here's the thing.
And that's just me.
Jason Merlot, Ryan Grondin, Paul Italia, Cody, because he told me his wife would have his phone. I was losing my mind messaging all these people saying, for the love of God, get Cody to complain that A, he's got his shoulder carved in so much, and B, why is Cody giving up 3/4 of the pad on the inside of where he should be positioning himself to pull against a guy that's going to do that move to him?
Right. So
I'm losing my mind because I'm watching Cody give a massive advantage to his opponent.
It's funny how we all watch the event. We're yelling through our TVs or laptops and like they can hear us and they can't.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God, Cody, come on, man. It's almost like if I had his wife's number, I'd be like, hey, girlfriend, tell Cody to come. Man, because I'm like, Jablonski's like this. I'm like going, how is that even okay?
But I mean, do you blame the refs? I don't think so. I mean, some of it has to be on the opponent that doesn't say anything. Cody didn't fight for the setup as much as I thought he should. He was in a press when they started the match.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he fight to get his elbow to the inside of his pad?
Well, I mean, the only time Cody fought for something, to me anyway, I'm
surprised it didn't matter,
is when there's a couple of false starts.
Well,
and Cody's like, hey, false start or elbow or whatever the case may be. But other than that, I'm like, Cody, come on, man. Cody's way too smart to allow that to happen. And yeah, I understand what you're saying, Ryan, that some of that falls on the puller, but my word, like, come on, man. Like,
even if they made Camille straighten his shoulders out a little bit, the position of Cody's arm would have probably led to the same kind of an outcome. Like, I really think that he did not give his best showing. Not that it would have been a big difference, but here we are. You ready for my prediction?
We'll put something up here. Ready? And
this is doubling as a soapbox too.
Sam, there you go. Go ahead.
Wall versus Merlot, Bowen versus RVJ. Awesome. Love it.
There's your co-main event. Bam. I said it. There you go. Hey, so. But yeah, that was going to be my portion of soapbox. Like, I know, is it up to the refs or is it up to the pullers? And that depends on,
As you could be a combination, but it's the same old story. Referees refereeing all day, and they come to the hardest match to referee, and they're tired and they miss. Like, I think there should be sets of refs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's what Merlot said. I'm gonna put it up.
Cody did not pull good against Camille. He needed to put his shoulder into it. That's how you need to be against a presser. Need to be brave. Easier said than done. Yeah, I mean, I know sometimes it can be intimidating because do I want to sit there and go right up into Jerry's press, or
you got to attack it,
right?
But even then, even if he was going to try to top roll him, he was in the wrong position to do it because he can get his hand, but he's way over here when he gets it, and it's already too late. Like it's Man, I was freaking out. I was flipping out trying to get somebody to tell Cody, because Cody said, if you see something in the match, my wife will have my phone. So I started blowing up his phone, and I guess they weren't getting the message.
Well, I mean, I don't want to say it was chaos, but when you got that kind of stuff going on, it's kind of hard to look at your phone, and you got people, come on, Cody, hey, ref, straighten his shoulders, and Cody, fight for it.
I saw Grondin and Natalia in the front row, and I'm like texting them, telling them to say something.
Hell, I saw Marcia Barbosa damn near on the damn stage in Jason's match.
Yeah.
At one point, I'm thinking, is there a third referee?
Man. Oh, here come my dogs barking again.
Oh, the mailman's here?
Possibly an Amazon delivery. Anyway, my prediction, a bold prediction, because, oh my God. Yeah, that worked. Oh, it worked for a second. So when Cody was, here's the story. The match with Camille and Devin was supposed to be 2 days after Knuckles Up. That would mean it was yesterday.
Yep.
So we don't know the outcome.
I bet. Well,
but I tried to read body language, and you see there's a photo that I was sent of Devin and Camille, and it looked like, to me, there's Camille, big smile on his face, standing up proud with his chest out and his arm flexed, and then there's Devin looking a little bit unhappy. Did Camille win that match?
Inquiring minds want to know, because the both of us had the opportunity to be there when all that unfolded, and unfortunately I couldn't make it. Unfortunately, you couldn't make it for various reasons. So it is what it is. But yeah, when you see all the who's who in Las Vegas with the stem cells going on and arm wars going on and this, that, and the other, did the match happen? Yes, it did. It premieres February 3rd, but the match already happened. So, because matches started yesterday, I believe. So, yeah, there's that. So, but arm wars, they hush until they show it. Oh, yeah. I know. I've been there, so I kind of know how that goes. Ryan's been there. He knows how that kind of goes. So, but nonetheless.
Benji. Tell us, Benji.
Man. But anyway, we still got more stuff to talk about, man. We got a prediction show.
Yep.
Did you know, guys? Prediction show, because the AWC is in the house. And I'm telling you right now,
I got it right here. I got the match list, and I got the arm that it's happening on.
We got 10 matches, everybody. You want to tap into it?
Preliminary. I love this match.
Cody said, "Oh, there's Cody. Oh, here's the answer. He knows the outcome." Cody, you are killing me, man, because did you know Ryan's screaming at the top of his lungs, trying to text, your phone that your wife had?
He would have got all those messages way after.
Yeah, texting Grondin and texting Paul Italia. I'm yelling at my laptop and TV. Not that you can hear me, but I'm yelling, going, bro, complaining. That dude was like, all right, let's go ahead and go. There was no goddamn way that nobody start like this. No way. Anyway, sorry about that. Just thought I had to say that. On the AWC, we got prelims, co-main event, and the main event.
Okay, preliminary. We've got Mady versus Sabrina. I don't really have any data on either girl.
I don't know either.
It's okay. We're gonna respectfully pass on.
I'm gonna say Sabrina just because I don't know nothing.
Well, I'll say the other girl. Yeah. Then we've got his setup was not what it looked like. I got to talk to you about that, Cody. I got to talk to you about that. The other preliminary, Alexander versus Kelly Leach. Now, Kelly Leach is one of the most underrated arm wrestlers. I'll say he's not underrated in Canada. He's probably not often thought about in the United States.
Oh, I know who he is.
He's a second generation arm wrestler. He's very, very good. I believe he is or was the Stronghold champion, is or was the Fit to Fight champion, and I believe a former national champion in Canada. So I'm going to take Kelly to win that right-handed match.
3-1, Kelly. I'm picking.
Yeah.
Now, how do you have a co-main event that's only one match, but the other, 7 are main events?
Well, this is interesting. I think it's supposed to be like main card kind of stuff. I think the main event is just Chafee versus Kalanchenko, but Benji says Neil put so much into this and there were problems you can't imagine right now. We need to keep it quiet for Neil's school. We understand that, Benji. We're just giving you a hard time. Unless you really want to tell us. We won't tell anybody.
Oh, man. Do you know how long I had to keep my mouth shut when I came back from England last year?
Well, let's do co-main event because I don't understand the way this is laid out either. So it says co-main event. We got Brita versus Alexander Kuleshov.
Jonathan Brita is a left-hand specialist. You know I like left-handers.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to take Brita. Let's just say I'll take Brita.
I'm saying Brita 3-2.
Yeah. Going into the main event, I guess this is the main card. Vivian Santos, it says Armstrong. It's Armstrong Santos versus Petra Dam.
You know,
that's an interesting one. Left-handed match. I will support Vivian because she is from Winnipeg, from Manitoba. I will pick her to win. It's going to be a tough match.
If I said Vivian, I say 3-2 because I've been talking to her off and on and stuff. And if you follow her on Instagram, the training she's dead serious. But when you pull somebody like Petra, you got to be damn serious because anybody from Sweden knows their stuff.
Yeah.
Knows their stuff.
Yeah. Now this is all these matches are pretty awesome, man. Like Rick Heiderbrecht versus Brad Grundy, right-handed. That's an interesting match. I mean, Rick has been around Canada forever. Brad is an up-and-comer from, I think he's from Florida, isn't he?
Yeah, he's one of Artem's buddies. The thing is, though, is that I was really impressed with Brad at East vs. West. You know?
Yeah.
And that opened my eyes, like, okay. Because I think, wasn't he one of the ones that did good in the East vs. West finals? Didn't he win or something like that?
Well, he did. Yeah, I think
he did something to get on that card, and when he got on there, he made the most of that and won. So
now, man, I hate to do this, but I think I'm going to pick Brad to win. I think Brad's going to take this one.
Just to be different, I'll go
too young, too hungry. Yeah, Brad is going to be one to watch. Now, the next match, I was curious about this one, whether it was left-handed or right-handed. Turns out it's right-handed. If it was left, yeah, I would have said it would be Artem for sure. Right-handed, I still think Artem's going to win, but he's
Yeah.
just too much bigger than like John Terrian is not a huge guy, and Artem has. They were very close a year ago as far as their body weight, but Artem has just been getting bigger and bigger, and I think it's probably Artem that's going to take the match.
Yeah, I don't see. This might be the pay-per-view where a lot of us have the same prediction.
Yeah. So you're agreeing?
Yes. Alan Ford. Who's he pulling? How you pronounce that first name?
Is it Casper?
Seneca. Yeah.
Seneca.
Know nothing about Casper.
I've heard of him. I'm sure I've seen him. I will say that it's going to be Alan Ford.
Ooh, Benji Matches says, dude, you got to hear Inga's channel about Arsen Liliev. Next match is Brad Grundy. Did you see that?
Arsen Liliev is coming back.
Hey, highlight that. Benji Mac put that up there. Oh, my word. I got to take a sip of water on this one.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
Well, I hope.
Man.
I hope Liliev's organs have recovered from his last stint as an arm wrestler.
Doesn't pay to do juice, people.
Well, you taking Alan Ford as well?
3-0.
Okay. Heidi Cordner versus Anna Gronlund.
Can Heidi use her height in her arm, her lever?
Yeah. But, oh, man.
I thought she would have gave Sarah Backman a more competitive match.
I didn't. Nah.
Using that height, the height of her arm, I thought she would have gave her more, But if I pick Anna, will anybody hate me for that?
Well, I'll take Heidi.
All right, 2 matches left. Jason Constantini versus Jeff Dave. I'm going with Jason. No offense to Jeff, but
yeah, Jason is the Table Monkeys guys. Like he's you got Jeff who has his own physical gifts that he is bringing to the table, and then you've got Jason who's coming in and enhancing whatever physical gifts he's bringing to the table. And
he's enhancing too?
Well, this is not like secretive. There was actually like a just go watch his YouTube channel. I'll say that.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh man, everybody.
Well, I don't know. So
is it getting to a point?
How old is Jeff?
Actually be enhanced to be on these shows now? Is that what we're doing?
No, man, I don't know. Like everyone wants some glory.
I'll fucking start going back to tournaments, damn it, if this shit happens.
I think Jason will probably win left this match, but I think it'll take a couple of matches to wear Jeff out. So I'll say 3-2.
For Jason?
Yeah. And then match. And I did not realize that this is a left-handed match between Dave Chafee and Kalanchenko.
Yeah. You didn't know that?
No, until I saw the match. Like you have obviously the poster, but the poster doesn't have what arm they're pulling, right?
Right.
It just has the names in the match. And it's a left-handed match.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be because everybody, when that first got announced, Dave was pulling the next match left-handed. They're like, why? So, but nothing was talked about it after that. It kind of just went underneath the rug, that kind of thing. So,
yeah. I
don't even want to touch this.
When was the last time Dave had a left-handed? Well, he did pull. He pulled like years ago. He pulled in Corey West or something in the TAL event.
Yeah, and Corey got injured. Remember?
Yeah,
I was there. Remember Jeff Frank was there.
Oh, it was Jeff's event. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was like the first match, and like Corey popped something in his left, and Dave felt bad and was like, fuck. And then later that night, Corey pulls right and beats Wayne Withers 3-0.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, I'm just going to say I think I'm going to take Dave Chafee to win. He's going to surprise me in this one, I think.
Well, I'll tell you what, if left is not his good arm, he should be fresher than I don't know what.
He should be good, but I'm not worried so much about his arm.
His neck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'll pick Dave too. My word. You know what? And here it is. So, question. Never for everybody in the chat. Is it getting to a point where we're paying bills for arm wrestling?
You mean again?
Like paying bills, meaning like you have a monthly bill, right? Like, oh, the power bill, you know, car insurance, it's a monthly bill. Because can we talk about how jacked Jeff Frank is right now? What I mean by that is getting to a point now where there's almost like a pay-per-view every week, every other week, right? And it's almost making you kind of go, you want to support all of them, but you can't support all of them. You know, does that make sense?
Yeah, you know what? A lot of them I'll watch the highlights of. I won't buy all of them just because I can't, you know, how am I going to tell my wife that every Saturday I'm going to be sitting in the living room watching arm wrestling? It's not going to happen. So I have to, you know, be a little picky. My wife is fully invested into the guys, the Knuckles Up pay-per-view. Like she was down to watch that one. So it's just it's not realistic for most people. I mean, we all have lives. So if there's some, it's like the UFC, you can't watch them all. When there's one every weekend, you know, free or pay-per-view or what. Yeah. There she is.
The woman of the hour.
Get back to work.
She said, damn right. Wow. I mean, I'm in the same boat because it's like, okay, you work all week and the weekend's here, you want to spend time. And it's like, hey, because now our practice times got moved to Sunday. And okay, hey, pay-per-view. But, you know, on some pay-per-views, I can go, I'll order it, right? But depending on what it is, if my teammates want to watch and they didn't get it, we have the luxury of the replay. Well, I can replay that one. So, example, Knuckles Up. I sat there and watched it, had my popcorn, was watching it. And then, because I was watching that in the Steeler game, like, yeah, all right, I'm doing both, multitasking. But the guys, you know, in our group chat was like, hey, don't tell me who won. I said, I tell you what, I can, you know, they'll replay it. I can still, you know, I can click on it right now. I can play it again for you guys tomorrow at practice. So Sunday they came over there, we watched it. I didn't say a whole lot because I didn't want to ruin it for them. So there is that luxury. But no, I mean, it's at a point, you know, I can't afford to buy every single pay-per-view. You know, I got to be picky.
This is interesting. Can you think of any other sport that has different high-level organizations where people are actually willing to buy pay-per-views? I can't. Even in the mixed martial arts, like the early 90s or the mid 90s kind of heyday of the Pride Fighting Championships, late 90s, early 2000s, you could have found a whole bunch of different pay-per-views. Who was buying them all? And even then there was like 3 at the most that you would look for.
Right. And Dan Woolley says, I agree, Jody. Do you make enough money on YouTube? I don't. But it's good that Monster Factory has their stuff for free for the most part, unless you're a member, I guess. Oh, look at Dina Hayes. Welcome, Dina. Look, what's really going on, sister? Paying for the gym accessories, gas to get to the practice, pulls entry fees, and definitely paying bills, let alone pay-per-views. Yeah, I mean, seriously, it's getting to that point. But I tell you what, depending on the card, and you kind of go, okay, you know they're going to be played down the road anyway, right? So when you have Knuckles Up, East vs. West, King of Table, AWC. There's your 4 main ones. If you want to put Arm Gods, though, if you're a member, which means you pay what, $5 a month or whatever. If you're a member, then whenever they have their events, it's free too. The only problem is they got 1 or 2 a year. That's it. So yeah, you're getting to a point where you kind of go, which one do I do? Which one do I do? I'll tell you what. Newsflash, folks, get Knuckles Up 3 because when you have Bowen versus RVJ, right, that's the one to get.
I'll tell you,
James Wall, Jason Merlot, that's it.
The other thing is sometimes it's a big time commitment because, I mean, I want to see every one of these matches on East versus West, but I know that that's going to be hours and hours that I need to carve out to make that happen, which is why I still would buy it, but maybe watch it later so I can, skip the dead spaces in there.
Dan Willie just said, I think Buffalo takes him down. Don't start with me, man. Look, man, we're in the playoffs once again. Okay, don't be drinking that strawberry watermelon haterade, man. Don't start that. This is the Arm Wrestling show. This ain't the playoffs yet, but yeah.
Can we just leave this up here for a while?
No, you can take it down. But no, I mean, I guess some people, and I've heard in conversations, some people are invested in a certain puller. So wherever they may pull at, they'll get that event to watch their favorite puller. Totally get that. I totally get that. So yes, we made the playoffs. Damn it, yes, we made the playoffs. Stop being so surprised. If you're a Tadzilla fan, East versus West at the end of the month is going to be one you want to watch because number one, guess what? He's the main event on the card. Now, what we do in my camp is that we'll probably take turns. Hey, I got Knuckles Up. The guys came and watched it. Cool. Maybe some of my teammates will end up getting East versus West. We'll go over there. So it's a give and take. So that way it's not really hounding a lot of people financially on a month. There's an idea, folks. There's an idea. You got a teammate. Hey, he'll get this event because like the last East versus West where, Devin beat freaking, Georgie. My teammate got that. Went to his house. We practiced. We watched it. The Knuckles Up event I got, come on to the crib, whatever. So if you could do it that way, that's a little cheaper than everybody's budget, right? Look at Dina Hayes go blue. Oh, she's going to have her national championship T-shirt and hat already in the mail from Sports Illustrated. That a girl.
Oh, man.
But yeah, I think, because then you got AWC. Like, what match stands out on this card to me? For me, the first match that stands out I want to see is John Tarian, Artem Taranenko. It jumps out at me. I'm interested to see how Vivian does against Petra. I'm sorry. I mean, Chafee and Kalinchenko left-handed. I mean, they're not known for the left, but it's interesting. You know what I mean? So I'm a Breeder fan because I'm a lefty. So are you. So there's always something.
I want to see Kelly Leach. I want to see the Grundy versus Heidebrecht match. And I think probably the main event.
Mm-hmm. So it's one of those things. And like I said, I mean, we have to pick unless if you have a serious commitment to a certain promoter, then that's it. There you go. No, you're good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And never mind the fact that next week we're talking about that giant East versus West card.
On the spur of, here's the thing, it's back-to-back weekends, right? So it's a back-to-back double dip. What I mean by that, we talked about the prediction show, right? We talked about our picks from the Knuckles Up and AWC prediction show. Next week, we'll talk about the results of AWC and then go right to the prediction of East versus West. You see how that works out? Double dip.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm very impressed with Knuckles Up. Good job, you guys. Merlot, the face that runs the place. Yep, I like that too. Please make that happen. James Wall, Jason Merlot, please. I don't know what you got to do. If it's in May, you got nothing but time to make that happen. Start calling people up. What do you think? RVJ, Ryan Bowen, I assure you, the views will be out of sight. The press conference will be an event in itself. So I'm throwing it out there. They don't have to listen to me. I'm just saying, hey, you want to blow the thing out the water, those are your 2 matches right there. And then you can plug in anybody else you want to. It'll still be top notch.
Yeah. Well, next week, we're going to talk about the results of AWC and the preview of East versus West.
Yeah.
And maybe Neil gets some footage out of the matches that just happened. It might not happen that quick. Who knows? I won't leak any results if I hear them, but if they come out by Neil, I will talk. We'll talk about them next week.
Dan Willie says, how long before these other organizations steal pullers from each other? They do it now. I've seen Dave pull on both King of Table East versus West. John's put on both.
I'm not sure what the structure of the contract is. So I know that some guys are free to pull with their off arm wherever they want.
I know Jerry ain't never set foot in the King of the Table. I will say that.
Well, yeah, I don't know. That's all behind the scenes stuff. So it's interesting. I think the smart thing that one of the few many smart things that Knuckles Up is doing is grabbing some of these arm wrestlers that aren't probably ever going back to some of these other promotions.
Oh, not me. I've never been there. I'm just saying. Would it be fun one of these days? One of these days, there might be a thunderstorm at Knuckles Up.
Oh. like a chocolate thunderstorm, Jody?
Hey, I'm just saying, man. What is the weather forecast down the road? Maybe a thunderstorm. You never know.
Yeah. All right, my friend, it's at that mark. Let's call it, and we'll be back next week.
Yes, I'm gonna hang out with my wife and probably take another nap because I got a 14-hour shift coming up today. So,
and I have a full afternoon myself.
I got my day 16 pull-ups in, 20 in a row. Check me out on my YouTube, everybody. Follow my journey on my playlist. Look it up. I just did day 16 of day 31 of these pull-up challenges. Just to get everybody update, feel free to look up my YouTube. But week 1 was 10 pull-ups a day. Week 2, 15. Right now I'm in week 3. We're 20. Week 4, next week will be 25. And then the last 3 days will be 30 in a row. So, yes.
Before we go, Jody,
yes, sir.
I have an announcement to make. See this belt right here?
Ah, yes.
That is the Stronghold belt.
Mm-hmm.
They have an event coming up. It has been publicized heavily. I'm going to find you the exact date right now. But the event is that they're adding prize money to their overalls. $500 each arm being added to the overall championships. Okay.
So,
and that also comes with a belt. There will be an overall champion belt.
Isn't that what you got now?
No, I have the weight class belt for the left arm. That's coming up on March the 2nd. I am committed to go there and referee. We also have Leah Cornelson versus Peyton Pickering in a super match. And that is for one of the titles. I assume it's doesn't say what arm, but it's ladies lightweight for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
there you have it. That's the big event, big announcement from them.
Nice. About time. I'm waiting because you're like Roman Reigns. I compete. I got the belt, but I ain't competing.
Nobody wants to try to sit at the head of the table.
Yes. Even Brian Grable says, see you in March, Ryan. There you go.
All right, my friend. Time to go.
Everybody have a good day. We will see you next week as we talk over the AWC results and the East versus West predictions. Until then, enjoy your week. Enjoy the snowstorm, wherever you may be.